guys, welcome to my channel. As you can tell, this is a slightly different video to what I usually make. I am currently sat on my living room floor, and that is because I want to share with you guys something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is my vinyl collection. For those of you guys that don't know this about me, as well as being cabin crew and like making videos about travel and things like that, obviously I do have other interests as well, and one of the main things is my vinyl collection and record collecting. Just a bit of a backstory: I have probably been collecting vinyl since 2016, 2017. I guess for 8-year collection this doesn't seem very large. I do have the Audio Technica LP60 with Bluetooth, but I do use edifier speakers. I will link the exact make of them down below if you guys are interested. I do have the white version. Yeah, I love it. I used to have a Crosley and it was like in a teal colour. It was really good for the time, but I can attest to the fact that they do scratch your vinyl. So there's certain vinyl that I used to play constantly back in the day that now do skip. When I started collecting, I think I was like 17, 18, so obviously at that age you don't really have that much funds to like buy the most expensive thing. But now that I appreciate kind of record collecting more and I'm in my 20s, I did invest in a better record player. Who knows, maybe in the future I will buy a new one and get rid of this one. A disclaimer that I also want to say, actually, I think when you first start collecting vinyl, it's very tempting to just buy the vinyl that you think should be in your collection or everyone influences you to buy. I think it's so important to just buy whatever you want to listen to, because at the end of the day it is your record collection. That being said, let's get into it. Obviously, for those of you guys who know me, I am a huge Swiftie. The first artist I want to share with you that I have her entire discography is Taylor Swift. So in a standard black pressing, I have Taylor Debut. This is the stolen version. Obviously she hasn't come out with the Taylor's version yet, and I did buy this second hand. I'm very intrigued as to like whether she'll still keep the like country twang in her new album when she eventually comes out with Debut, or new album, like re-recording, you get what I mean. Then I have Taylor's Fearless version, and this is the Target exclusive limited edition red pressing, so just in the red vinyl. It is stunning. Love Story is actually the first Taylor song that I ever listened to, and obviously it's been a love affair ever since, so very much appreciate this album. Then I have Speak Now, Taylor's version. It is in marbled violet pressing. This is stunning. Bit of a backstory about this vinyl: it actually took me ages to get a hold of this. So when she originally released this album, I think you could only buy it in the States for a short period of time, so I ordered it to my uncle's in New York, and yeah, he kindly received this parcel for me, but I couldn't see him for 6 months, so I was bidding so hard for a JFK just so I could go see him. Eventually I did, but 6 months later I got Taylor's Speak Now. Now, my newest addition to my Taylor collection to complete it is Taylor's version red album, and it is the limited edition red vinyl pressing from Target. I have tried to find this everywhere, literally try and moved heaven and hell to find this, and my boyfriend kindly gifted it to me for our 1-year anniversary, and it is the last vinyl I needed to complete my Taylor collection. So I love her. Red, fun fact, is actually my favorite Taylor album out ever, and it is kind of ironic that it was like my last one to collect. This is a monster of a vinyl. It literally has like 4 discs. To listen to it, like to the whole thing, is probably going to take 2 hours, 3 hours, who knows. But I've not yet played it all the way through, but obviously I have played All Too Well 10-minute version. The next Taylor album that I have is Taylor's stolen version 1989 album. This is just in the standard black pressing. Then of course I have 1989 Taylor's version, and this is in the green vinyl aquamarine like edition. It is stunning. It's just this beautiful color. Imagery of this album is just beautiful. Wildest Dreams by Taylor is actually my favorite song. The next album that I have is Taylor's stolen version of Reputation. Is just in this beautiful like picture disc. Then I have Lover. This is just the insert, but I really like this photo of Taylor, so I have it as the cover art. And it is in the 2 like coloured vinyl LP, which is in like the pink and the blue, which is just beautiful. Next into the Taylor collection is Folklore. I actually got gifted this by a friend. I have the kind of like beigey brown pressing. One thing to know about me, I'm not a variant collector, or try not to be, so yeah, there are other Folklore variants that actually look stunning, but I already have one, so yes, this is very near and dear to my heart as it was a gift for a birthday. Obviously with Folklore you have to have the sister album, Evermore, and this is in the EU green vinyl pressing, which is like dark muted green. Evermore is actually my least favourite Taylor album, but there are some songs that I really appreciate from it. Then I also have Midnights, which is in the Moonstone Blue marbled vinyl pressing. It just looks like this, which again is stunning. So it's just like a clear blue. I was really glad I pre-ordered this because obviously anyone who pre-ordered her Midnights album in any type of media got a code for like pre-sale for her Eras tour. So yes, I got this and I got a different pressing for one of my friends as well, which is, and something that is very, very, very near and dear to my heart is the Folklore Long Pond Studios pressing, and it is just in this beautiful like grey colour. I actually have another one of these, but it's still in its like plastic and shrink wrap, and I'm not quite sure what to do with it yet. I don't know whether I want to sell it or like trade it for like the Lover Live in Paris vinyl, which I will like insert here if you guys don't know what that is, but that is like one of my dream vinyls to have. When she released it at her website it was like £60 ish, and I wish I bought it then. Now it's like reselling for like over £800, which is insane, so I don't really want to buy it for the resale value. This my boyfriend got for me and another one of these for my birthday last year, and he said to me that he bought it for around like £60. Now they're like being resold for like £300–400, which is insane. Yeah, that's all my Taylor album. Another artist that I really love and is probably my #2 top artist is Ed Sheeran. So I actually saw him live in Belfast a couple of years ago. I went with one of my friends and it was amazing. I have most of his vinyl. There is like I think one that I'm missing, I'm not too sure, but yeah, let me show you. So this is the first one that I have, is in this orange pressing, which is amazing. I probably should say like which songs I like from each vinyl, but I can make a separate video about that if you guys would like. I do really like Give Me Love because they used it in Vampire Diaries and I am a huge Vampire Diaries fan. Then there is Multiply. This is limited edition crystal clear pressing. Just looks like this, and yeah, it's stunning, it's beautiful. Then I probably have one of my most favorite albums of all time, which is Divide. Divide is very special to me because it is actually the album that I was listening to when I was going through cabin crew training, and like around that time, which is like February 2017, my like BA training, because I did work in a different department before I was crew, but it just really reminds me of that time of my life. It's one of the albums in existence ever that I probably like love every single song on the album. Now Taylor is like my favorite artist, but there are albums of hers where like I don't love every single song, whereas this album is like perfection to me. Like every single song I just love, down to the cover art, down to like the way it was written and like the order of the songs. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. Then I have Equals. This is the red vinyl, and yeah, it's like kind of like a cleary version. Then I have Autumn Variations, which is like a really cool like funky art at the front, and it is just like a white pressing. The 15-year-old girl in me also has Olivia Rodrigo albums. This is just in the standard black pressing. I actually really like Olivia Rodrigo. I think she is a very talented artist, and I think her songs are very catchy. And yeah, so I've gone through like heartbreak at such a young age. I think everyone can kind of like relate, because I feel like when you're at that age everything feels very dramatic. And I actually have Guts, which is alternate cover, the HMV like pressing. It's just this like beautiful purpley colour. Next I have newest additions to my vinyl collection, which is Bruno Mars's 2 albums that he released. These have been around for years, but these particular pressings, look at how amazing they look. This one, in this album in general, is just very close to my heart because it just reminds me of like Filipino parties and Filipino karaoke, which if you guys don't know, that is my ethnicity, and it just brings back such like a happy time in my life. Splatter pressings are my favourite, and obviously like I said, Unorthodox Jukebox. This is a limited edition red with black splatter. And I have 2 Katy Perry albums. Again, these were probably released in the last like 6 months or so, but these albums in general have been around for a long time. So this is Teenage Dream, and look at how amazing this pressing is. Like it just is the epitome of like, the imagery of this album, and I just love when like things match like that. Then I also have Katy Perry Prism, which is in this beautiful splatter pressing again. Stunning, and yeah, what a bop, right? Of course, it wouldn't be a record collection without a bit of Lana, so I do have some Lana albums. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? It's the alternate cover, and it's in the white pressing, which I think is just stunning. I also have Lust for Life. I think this is probably like my favorite album cover of hers. Beautiful, and it's in the like Coke bottle green pressing. And of course, I also have Lana Del Rey Born to Die. This is just in the standard black pressing. Crybaby by Melanie Martinez. This is just in the standard black pressing. I used to play this so much. Like Dollhouse during my uni years was like my go-to song. I have Amy Winehouse in Back to Black. I just think this album is perfection. Like, her voice is like made to be on vinyl, if that makes sense. Badlands by Halsey. This is in like turquoisey pressing. Badlands by Halsey is just, again, such a nostalgic album for me. It just gives me so much memory, like good memories from like college years and things like that. I listen to it non-stop. Unfortunately, this is one of my records that does skip because of my previous record player, which was, like I mentioned, the Crosley, but I still love her and she still gets some love every now and then. Then I have Don't Smile at Me by Billie Eilish. This is in the red pressing. I think Billie's voice is stunning. Some of her opinions are quite controversial, but I do like her as like an artist. Then I have Lady Gaga, Joanne. I think this is one of her most underrated albums. It's just in the standard black pressing. Then I have Maisie Peters, The Good Witch. This is like in a red pressing, and it did come with like a signed insert. I actually saw Maisie Peters live when she was headlining for Ed Sheeran. That's how I discovered her. Ariana Grande, Dangerous Woman. This is in like, if you can see that, you can kind of see it much better here, but in person it looks quite muted. But it's like a vinyl pressing with like purple violet-y lodges on it, if that makes sense. Her voice, again, is one of those artists where I just think it's so stunning that it needs to be on vinyl. Again, this is probably my favourite album of hers, and this is the only one I have on vinyl. Then I have Lewis Capaldi. This is his like debut album. I love his voice. I think it's so soothing. People have actually met him on the plane and say that he's like amazing and really nice, so I really like the fact that he's actually a nice person and a decent human being, which is so sad to say, but I feel like a lot of people now who are like celebrities just aren't nice people sometimes, and the fact that he's a nice person just, yeah, makes me love his music even more. Next I have Punisher by Phoebe Bridger. I keep seeing her everywhere right now, so that's why I have her vinyl. I really want to listen to it more. This is fairly new. I would say I got it in like the last 3-4 months. Then I have Snow Patrol, Eyes Open. This is just in a standard black pressing. Then I have American Teen by Khalid. Again, this is in the black pressing. Yeah, it's just one of those albums again that just is very nostalgic for me. Then I have Brand New Eyes by Paramore. This is in a standard black pressing. Then I have 1975 in the clear pressing. Yeah, 1975 actually reminds me a lot of my sister because she really likes them and likes their music. But I love music that just like evokes such memories and things like that. Moving on to my like movie soundtracks. I actually have Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs movie soundtrack. This vinyl only cost £2. Yeah, at the time I actually bought it with the intention of like playing it for my niece. She was like really young at the time, probably like a toddler age, but great album. The next vinyl that I have is a Walmart exclusive, and it is in ocean blue clear pressing, and it is Moana. Moana is the princess that I kind of resemble the most, I guess, or like just relate to the most. Of course, it wouldn't be a movie soundtrack collection without Grease. Grease, I feel like, is just a classic, and I actually got this pressing for only £2 at a local record store in the standard black pressing. Then I have The Hunger Games and The Ballad of Songbird and Snakes in the orange pressing. I did want the 7-inch, but that had sold out of like the etched snake on it, which I thought looked really cool. I also have The Star Is Born movie soundtrack pressing, again just in the standard black. I saw this at the cinema and I just thought it was such an amazing film, and Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga in it is just to die for. Like, their voices are just amazing. Then I have Barbie. It is in the EU splatter pressing. I think this is actually numbered. Yeah, so this is 4,838 out of 5,500. I have the Arctic Monkeys AM. I feel like everyone and their grandma has this album, but classic to have on vinyl, so that's why I have it. It's just in the standard black pressing. And I have Elvis Presley, the all-time greatest hits. Again, I only got this for £5 at my local record store. It's in the standard black pressing, and it, like it says, it just has all his amazing hits. Then I have Shinedown, Threat to Survival, in the black pressing. This reminds me a lot of my teenage years, and that is why I have it on vinyl. Then I have Hotel California by the Eagles. It's just in the black pressing. This is actually the first ever vinyl that I ever got, so it's very near and dear and close to my heart. Then I have Imagine Dragons Night Visions. This is just in the standard black pressing. Then I have like classic rock anthems. I actually got this from Sainsbury's back when they were selling vinyl back in like 2016, but again, this is just in a standard black pressing. Not much to say apart from it's just classic rock hits basically. So we had to take a little half-an-hour break because my battery actually died, and yes, that is how prepared I am for this video. Clearly, as I was saying, next album is, or vinyl, is Codaline, In a Perfect World. This is just in the standard black pressing. This reminds me a lot of my first ever relationship. This album I listened to constantly back then, and I was literally having this conversation with a friend the other day. It's really nice and fun to like reminisce previous things, but it's also nice and fun to realize why things are the way they are, kind of thing. I feel like it can get like that for relationships, but friendships as well, to appreciate the thing for what it was at the time, but to also understand as to why things aren't like that anymore is what I feel real clarity is like. So when people say like closure, clarity, things like that, I feel like that's the time when you get that, and no one can give that to you, not even the person that like you're trying to get closure from or clarity from. I feel like it just comes with time. So yeah, this album is just like really resonates with me because of that reason. Next one I have is Vampire Weekend Contra, and it is just a standard black pressing. I've had this for years. Next one that I have is Royal Blood. Again, I don't play this vinyl that much. It's just one of those vinyls that you see, like you just have in your collection, I guess. Then I have The Killers Hot Fuzz. If you are like a British, that sounds very like UK, isn't it? If you're a British millennial Gen Zer, you will know The Killers. I hope you know The Killers, or I'm just really showing my age. I also have this picture disc that I think I got from HMV one year. Again, I've put it in like plastic inserts and stuff like that, just because things like this can like really warp easily, so it's just nice to look after your vinyl. I got from my local record store. So this one is Madonna. It is literally just like an LP. I literally got it for £2.49. And yeah, Madonna for me is one of those artists where I'm not necessarily like a big fan, but like they remind me of people that are like very near and dear to my heart. So Madonna reminds me a lot, like not Madonna as a person, but her songs really remind me of my mum, so that's why I have some of her albums or music on vinyl. Another Madonna, like Virgin. Again, this is just standard black pressing. And I also have another one back when Sainsbury's was selling vinyl. I have a limited edition blue vinyl, which is this like rich blue colour. Then I have some albums by Beatles. You can tell like when I started collecting vinyl, which is like around 2016, 2017. Again, I love the Beatles, I like their music, but I wouldn't say they're my favourite artists, but I really appreciate their music and like the impact they've had on the music industry, how loved they are as like a cult classic. So I have some of their albums on vinyl. Again, I got this from my local record store. They weren't actually that expensive. I want to say they were all like under £10 for both. Then I also have an album by Blondie. This is actually a clear pressing. Then I have Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. These are just in the standard black pressings. Showing them together because it just kind of makes sense. Also have Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. I feel like this is one of those albums where like once you hear it, it just kind of like speaks to you. Then I also have Michael Jackson Thriller. Like Michael Jackson's again one of those artists where it's like might not be like your favorite artist or like his music, but I feel like once you listen to it you just can't help but sing along. One of those albums for me that just yeah, I just love to have a bit of a curveball, but I actually have R. Kelly Ignition Remix. This only cost £7. It was a bit of like a joke buy for me at the time, so it's just a standard black pressing. To have Guns N' Roses, again this is from my local record store, it's just in a standard black pressing. Bon Jovi, again from my record store, local record store, it was about £4, you can see. I feel like Bon Jovi is just a classic. It's the type of music my parents used to listen to, so again nostalgic for me. I also have U2, again from my local record store. Eric Clapton, Slow Hand. It has Wonderful Tonight, which is like one of my all-time favourite love songs. And ending it with Elton John. Again, not usually my kind of music, but I remember seeing this at the record store and I was like, I feel like it's one of those classics that you just kind of want in your collection. So next I thought I would show you guys my 7-inch vinyl collection. So just keep them in their like little cubby. It just opens up like this. I only have 2 at the moment, and that is Lana Del Rey's Say Yes to Heaven, which is like a picture disc, and I also have Stick Season by Noah Khan. But yeah, it's just in like a clear pressing. That is all my vinyl. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I know it's very different from my usual like travel vlogs and weekly vlogs, but if you like this kind of video, do let me know and I'll definitely make more. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.